Hello, welcome to the YouTube channel named as Cat to I'm by Manoj Mahajan. As the XAT 2024 is over and the XAT authority has released the XAT question paper, we are discussing few con questions out here. So let's check out what are the correct answers to some of the con questions. So if you look the first question on the screen, it's an interesting question out here. It's a use of basic permutation combination as well. So what I'm doing over here is let me draw a chart. Vegetarian items we have is what 16 in number. Non-vegetarian we have 9 in number. And some of them are having gluten. So let me write G for that. And while the rest are gluten free. So we do not know the number out here. So this is not girlfriend. This is gluten free. So same thing we can look forward to do over here. G and GF over here. So let's see how we're going to answer this. So one data is given Rohit and his friends. So what did they choose? Two different vegetarian items. So 16 vegetarian items we have. So if I use my basic PNC out here, can I do 16C2? The number of choices. So yes, permutation combination is being tested in the XAT for sure. So 16C2 I can do multiplied with what? How many non-vegetarian items they look forward for? 3. So we had in total 9. So 9C3 would be the choice. Now what is given is Bela and her friends, right? They plan to choose two different vegetarian items and one non-vegetarian item only from the gluten-free option. So that is there. And what is given is the number of item combination that Rohit and his friends could choose from. This is 16C2 multiplied with 9C3. This is nothing but 12 times the number of items combination that Bela and her friends can look forward, right? So let's do one thing because we have to choose from the gluten-free option. So what I'm doing is, let's say under the vegetarian, the gluten-free items we have is X, and let's say under non-vegetarian we have is gluten-free Y. So the total combinations which I can look forward to make is nothing but XC2 multiplied with YC1. So let's do further calculation out here. 16C2, if I write 16 into 15 by 2, 9C3 I can look forward to write as 9 into 8 into 7 divided by what? 6. And this is nothing but 12 into, this can be written as what? X into X minus 1 divided by 2, and YC1 I can write as Y. So let me look the further calculation out here. So can I cancel out this 2 with this 2? 3 3s are 9, 3 2s are 6. This 2 I can again cancel out with what 8 out here. So that becomes 4. So 3 into 4 is 12. So this 12 I can cancel out with this. So ultimately what do I have is X into X minus 1 is into Y is equal to what? 16 into 15 into 7. This is what I have. So if I look the question, there is no option like cannot be determined. So there must be the fixed number of total gluten items, and options are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can look forward from one solution out here. Let's say if I just compare, so one of the solution which I can look forward from here is X 16 and Y, if I look over here, could be 7. So if I look from this solution as well, there could be more solutions out here. But if I look from the solution out here, if this becomes 16, this would be 0. And if this becomes 7, this would be 2. So how many contain gluten? If I look over here, that is 0 plus 2, that is 2 itself. So I can look forward for other solutions as well, but probably the answer is fixed. So this should be the right one. I could also rearrange and write like this. The 16 is what? 8 into 2. So can we also look forward to write like this? If I say 15, 2 into 7 is what? 14 into 8. So I think so this could be also one of the solution that X becomes 15 and Y becomes 8. So if I go with that solution also, the number of items which contain gluten would come out to be same again. So if this is, let's say 8, this would be what? 1. If this is 15, this would be 1. So either I do 0 plus 2, that is also 2, 1 plus 1 also, that is nothing but 2. So it's an interesting question which the XAT authority has asked you, right? Good one, right? Let's come to the other one. So I do love this question, guys, because I keep teaching in my classes also that always have a look of the options. So over here, if you see the departure of the flight got delayed by 3 hours. Now, the kind of options which the ZAT authority or maybe even the CAT authority do try to frame, if you look the option where there's a difference of 3 hours. So what I see out here is these two options we have with a difference of 3 hours. So maybe if you miss out this part that it got delayed by 3 hours, so you may look forward to mark this option also. What I feel is the answer should be from 3 and 4, but I'm not saying that's a rule, but that's what something which I've observed with my 20 years of experience also. So if you look over here, uh, a lot of people would do the shit mistake out here by marking the option third. The right answer is fourth out here. And let's see how we are going to look at. But I'm just giving an idea that there was a difference of 3 hours out here. So highly likely the chance should have been given with the option 4. I'm not saying that this logic will always work, but this is something which I have just noticed in most of the papers. So the way they create the option. So now let's look at the solution out here. So we have is what 11,200 kilometers. Let's say with a speed of s, I take the time that is distance upon speed. And if you look over here, then the speed got increased by 100. So I'll divide s plus 100. Now we have to just understand what this difference would be in the time. So if you look over here, let's say when you leave at 6:30 a.m. and with the speed s, let's say the time taken is t. Now when you leave at 9:30 a.m. with the speed s plus 100, let's say if I do that. So what is happening is if you look, still there is a delay of 1 hour. So the flight got delayed by 3 hours. So it compensated the 2 hours by increasing the speed. But still, if I look over here, there is a delay of 1 hour. So the difference between these two time, like initially when with the speed s, you were taking t time. Now with s plus 100, it should be t minus 2. So 2 hours we were able to cover up by increasing the speed. So difference in the time should be of 2 hours. So can I say I can put look over here as 2 out here? So now if I calculate, this is an equation which I have. So yes, we have time in these that we can solve this equation also. And probably once we get the value s, what we are going to do is we are going to calculate again the time by dividing 11200 by s plus 350. So this is what we are going to look forward to calculate the time. And remember this time I'm not going to add in 6:30, I'm going to add in 9:30. So that's why I said that a lot of students would have committed a mistake by marking option 3. So let's see the solution out here. So if you calculate it further, let me just divide 2 out here. So this is how much 5600. This also what 5600. Okay. Now let's take the LCM as what s into s plus 100. Let's say if I do that product. So basically what we are looking at is now multiplying this 5600 with s plus 100 and this 5600 with s, and there's nothing but 1. Now 5600 s would cancel out. So what we are left out is what s into s plus 100 equal to 560000. Now, interestingly, if you solve this quadratic, it is going to take time, right? So what I did smartly out here is because we have to break this into two numbers such that there's a difference of 100. So what I do it over here is 56 is what 7 into 8 and there's nothing but 100 into 100. So I just broke like this, right? So 700 into 800. So I can look forward that my S is nothing but coming out as 700. So let's calculate this time. 11200 divided by 700 plus 350. That is how much? 1050. Let's cancel out this. The first factor which is visible to me is 21, I guess, would be left out. The factor is 5. 21 would be left out when I divide by 5. What would be over here? Let's see. 5 twos are 10. Again, we'll have what? 2 and what? 4, right? Now, if I look further, if I look the factor 7 can be removed. So this would be 3 and this would be what? 7 threes are 21, 32, right? So what do I get is 10 hours. If I look over here, dividing 32 by 3 and 2 by 3 hours as well, which I've converted into minutes would be 10 hours, 40 minutes. Just make sure add in this 9:30. So when you add 10, this would become what? 7:30 and 40 minutes if I add it will become 8:10. So 8:10 p.m. is the right answer. So interesting question again, could have been done in the exam hall because we have time, right? Not that difficult. This should have been done by most of these ad aspirant. And there was one catch out here, and which I keep discussing in my CAT 2 IM classes. So probably my students must have figured out this catch and they would have done it correctly. Yes, the right answer is option 1 out here. Let's see how we could have done. So easy one. If I look over here, can I write this as log x minus 2 upon log 5? Yes, I can do that to the same base. And let's say I'm taking the base as to be 10 out here, right? This could be what? 2 log 2x minus 4 upon log 25. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that. If I further look at 25 can be written as 5 square. So 5 would be here, 2 would be here, right? Now I can cancel out, right? So this cancel out, this cancel out, this cancel out. Now log of x minus 2 is same as log of 2x minus 4 when I have x minus 2 as same as 2x minus 4. So if you solve this further, I guess x coming out as what? 2. But the problem with this is if you put x as 2 out here and you try to mark one solution out here, which could be a blunder done by the students. I always told that the log of a negative number is not defined, log of 0 is not defined. So always when you solve the log questions, I always ask my students to please do check in the original equation whether it is satisfying or not. So when you put x as 2 out here, this is coming out to be 0. So you have to discard this value. So the answer would be for how many different values of x does a given equation hold? That would be 0. So I'm sure that my CAT 2M student must have done this correctly. Let's move to the next one out here. Now, this was also an easy one, should have been done by most of you. So I found that in the Quant NDI, this time it was a little easier as compared to the last year. It could be a bit lengthy, but there were some direct questions which could have been done. So if you look over here, 10,000 is the fixed cost over here. Additional is what? 5,000 per show. So how many shows we have? 3 shows. So 10,000, what's the cost involved? I'm just adding over here 10,000 plus what? 5,000 into 3. That's how much? 25,000. That's the cost involved. Now, see what is given over here is for all the shows together, it is what? 80%, right? And we have to find out the maximum amount of profit possible. So what we are going to do is because the price of the first 2 shows is higher. So of course, we are going to take the first show, second show, maximum seats, what we can look forward to sell out. And let's see, first 200 seats we have in total. So let me just first add this 200, 200, 200. So how much it is? 600 total. And we have 80% occupancy. Let me just calculate for the total out here. So 80% of this is nothing but what? 480. So what I'll do is this is completely occupied 200, this completely occupied 200, and from here I can look forward just 80. Why I kept first and second completely occupied? Because the price is more. So when you do this 250 multiplied over here, 250 multiplied over here, and what? 200 multiplied over here, right? So this is how much if I calculate 50,000. This also how much? 50,000. This is how much? Just 16,000, right? So if you look over here in total, we are going to have as what 1,16,000, right? So 25,000 we have to subtract from here. That was the cost involved. So how much is the profit we have is 91,000. So that's option 4. So probably if you look over here by now, like in one of the question, the answer was option 4, right? Over here is also option 4. I'm just trying to figure out that mostly I found that the most of the answers do come out from 4 and 5, but that's again not a rule. Okay, so let's come to this question. Interesting one. A king has so a lot of questions were doable, right? The only thing is that they keep such kind of options to make it a little difficult. So let's say if I take X to be the rare jewels, right? I did not use the options out here because there could be multiple solutions. So not advisable to go for the options as of now. We can just make one simple equation out here. So X is there and this is first kept in one of the box. So the first one, 1/3, right? Now the next is what? K by 5 of X, right? Now remember out here that K cannot take a lot of values out here because already 1/3 of X is gone in the first box. So 2/3 is left out in total. And something we have kept in the third one also. So if you look over here, the possibilities for the left out, if I look over here, K could be what? 1. So 1/5 is possible, 20% it would be. Even 2, 40%, even 3, 60%. We cannot go for K as 4 or above that because the left out is just 2/3 of the jewels, right? So K could be 1, 2, or 3. So let me just equate this and using 1, 2, 3, we can try to get the solution for X. So plus 66 if I do. So let me take X by 3 this side. What do I have is 2X by 3. Let me take KX by 5 also this side. This is what 66, right? So if I take the LCM now 15, so this how much 10x, this would be how much 3kx, this how much 66. So let me take just x common out here. And this would be what 10 minus 3k equal to what 66 into 15. Okay, so if I just multiply that, this would be nothing but 990. Okay. Now, when I put k as 1, this number would come out to be 7. And x has to be a natural number and 990 is not divisible by 7. So k should not be 1. Now, when you put k as 2, so 10 minus 6 is what 4. So again, 990 is not a multiple of 4. So k should not be 2 also. So the only choice left out is 3 out here. When you put 3, 10 minus 9 is 1. So x is nothing but 990. So not that difficult questions, honestly. I was able to crack them when I went through some of these questions. So I'm not saying that all the questions were doable. Of course, the selection in the Quant DI is very, very important. And this was a doable one in the exam hall. Let's come to the other one, an interesting one and something similar I did in the cat to ham class also. I'm not saying exactly the same, similar approach if I look over here. And let's see what is the approach. So remember always the tangent length. When you draw the two tangents from the external point to the circle, the length are equal. So based on that, we can look forward to answer. This is an interesting question out here. And the choices, they always make it difficult. None of the remaining options or are correct, right? So anyhow, so 18, 24 we have, and I keep telling you guys use triplets, right? So when you look at this number 18 and 24, what is common I can look forward is like 3 into 6 can I write, and over here 3 into 8, correct? So do you remember the triplet 6, 8, 10? So the next number should have been 10 out here. Multiply with 3. So this gives me 30. So yes, people do use 18 square plus 24 square and a root of that. But I keep telling in the classes that triplets are very, very important. So let me put this as over here. Let's say R is the radius out here. So what you'll have is you can make a square out here. So this is R. This will also be R. Now let me put this point as D. So this will also be R, and you know the tangents are of equal length. So this will also be R, right? And actually it's a square, so it has to be R also, right? Now you know the center, this point, and the center would be collinear, right? So let me drop a perpendicular out here. This would be, of course, at 90 degree. So this 90, this is 90, this is 90, this is 90. It becomes what? A rectangle. So this is R, this is R. So this is nothing but 2R. Let me put this point as E. So 24 is total. So EC would be nothing but what? 24 minus 3R. And let me put this point as F. So EC and CF are equal. So there's nothing but 24 minus 3R. And total is 30. So this should have been what? AF 6 plus 3R. Now don't look forward that AD and AF would be equal, right? Because these are not the tangents to the same circle, right? So that could be one blunder being done by the student. So there's nothing but 18 minus R. Now maybe you can get stuck out here, right? Let's see what we could have done. This is perpendicular out here. So if you just join this A and this center, right? Let me denote with some letter out here. So if I join this, right? So there's a straight nahi ban pa hai. Anyhow. So if you look out here, okay. Let's say this point is G. Okay. So now from this right angle triangle, what I'm doing is AG square is what? AD square plus what? DG square. And from this triangle, there's nothing but equal to what? AF square plus FG square. So what is AD? We already know it is 18 minus R square, right? Plus what is DG? If you look, I guess R plus R plus R, that is 3R, right? So that is square of this. What is AF? If I look, 6 plus 3R square, right? Oh, and what is FG out here? That is nothing but R. So let's quickly open that. I think so this will not be a quadratic also. Things are cancelling out. So 324 R square minus 36R plus 9R square is equal to what? 36 plus again 9R square plus what? 36R plus R square. So look, I was correct. These are cancelling out here. So what is left out is 72R is equal to what? 288. So what is my R coming out? I guess 4. So this should be the correct answer. So good one, right? Not that straightforward, but the kind of that people have given the geometry questions, they have given damn horrible in the past, right? So this was probably doable one if you have done enough practice of the geometry stuff, right? Okay, this is very interesting, right? So probably a lot of students can comment blunder out here. So not a difficult one, but they made it difficult by the choices and using this statement out here. So we have a 4-digit number A, B, B. Always I told students to break it like this. We can do it 1000 A plus what 100 B plus what 10 B plus B. So what is the ultimate number? 1000 A plus 111 B. And what I can also look forward further to write 111, that is 3 into 37 into B. Now, do you want that what is a necessary and sufficient to ensure that this 4-digit number is divisible by A? Now, when you divide this by A, this is completely divisible because there's a multiple of A itself. Now, we have to just check this number, and they have actually made options based on this. Now, A being a unit digit number, right? From what? 1 to 9. Even B will also be a unit digit number, but B could be 0 also, 0 to 9. So now let's go one by one. So we have to keep these two things in mind, necessary and sufficient, right? So look, B is divisible by A. So I think so it is sufficient. If B is divisible by A, this number would be divisible by A, but necessary or not, we have to check. Even if I look, B is equal to 0, so that is also sufficient, right? If I see. So I think so, like the word necessary will come into picture to get the right answer. So let's say if I look over here, is it necessary that B should be 0, then only it would be divisible by A? So that is not the case. So probably sufficient, but it is not necessary. So we can rule out this option. And probably look over here. See, we are more concerned about this 37. You have only two factors, that is 1 and the number 37 itself. So probably this 3b would be coming into picture if I want this number to be divisible. So probably if I see over here, uh, in the options out here, third, fourth, and fifth, 21b, 9b, 3b. So probably the more interesting part is this 3b, not the 9b and 21b. So I think so this 3 and 4 should definitely not be the answer. Students would get confused with the option 1 and option 5, right? So 2, 3, 4 could have been ruled out easily. So I probably like it is not necessary that probably uh, B should be divisible by necessary should be what? 3b should be divisible by a, because look, if I look forward for a number like this, let's say if a is 3 and let's say b is 2. Okay, so what's the number we have? 3, 2, 2, 2. Now, probably if I look over here, when I try divide this by 3, it is divisible, right? Probably if I look over here using the sum of the digits also constant for the divisibility of 3. So if you look over here, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3, that is nothing but coming out to be 9. And over here, look, B is not divisible by, still the number 3B is divisible by A, due to which this entire number is divisible. So I think so B is divisible by A should not be it's a sufficient condition, but not the necessary. So for a necessary, I think so that 3B should be divisible by A. So the right answer to this problem should be option 5 as per my understanding, right? So yes, I understand the tricky options they have given, but yes, second, third, fourth could have been ruled out straight away. The only confusion could be between 1 and 5. I hope I'm thinking it right. So yes, B is divisible by A, that is not necessary, right? But if 3B is divisible by A, so of course, uh, it will always be divisible, right? Yep. Okay, let's come to the other question. So it's a mix of algebra, I would say, and the geometry, right? And a geometry, that's not very hardcore concept, right? So they're saying these are the radii of the three concentric circles, right? So that concentric that did not play much role out here, right? So if you look over here, if you just get the radius of each of them, so we can just look forward to arrange from largest to the smallest. So uh, yeah, we can have pi r1 square, pi r2 square, pi r3 square, where assuming that r1 is more than r2 is more than r3, and pi would cancel out. So actually we have to just do the squares of the radius, right? So the only job was to find out the roots of this polynomial. So if you look out here, so what we look forward normally to get the roots, we're not going to make the equation like sum of the roots or taking two roots at a time and the product of the roots. So what we are going to look at this constant number, and we'll try to see the factors of it. So maybe plus minus 1, okay, maybe plus minus 2, maybe plus minus 3, maybe plus minus 6. This is what we can look forward to try with, right? So if you do a bit of hit and trial, one of the factor you can figure out here is 2. So that's a root basically. Factor would be x minus 2. So when you put x is 2 out here, so what do I get? Let's say 2 into 2 cube minus 11 into 2 square. So you have to do a hit and trial for sure, right? And by starting with 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 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 1 min So what do I have is what 16, what is out here is what 44, what is this? 34, this what minus 6, this gives me what 0. So when you're going to put x as 2 out here and it comes out to be 0, which means 2 is one of the root, and we can look forward to now factorize like this. So I do it like this, x minus 2 would be there, the factor of it. So we want 2x cube. So let me multiply this with 2x. Then further, if I do it, I do have as what minus 4x. This should be, sorry, 2x square, right? I wrote 2x, it should have been 2x square so that I can get 2x cube. And now what do I have is minus 4x square, right? So this is minus 11. So I should have minus 7x out here so that I do get minus 11x square finally. And now this is what 14x, right? So I should multiply this with 3. So I can look forward to rearrange and write like this, and x minus 2 is one of the factor. And once you do that and you get a quadratic actually in terms of again the x out here, we can look forward to get the other roots, right? So let's do that. Again, the number 7 can be written as what 2 into 3 is what 6. So I can just do the middle term splitting out here. So can I write minus 6x minus x, right? Yes, I can do that. So now let's see finally what are the roots. So it was a bit time consuming for sure, right? So what do I get is, can I look forward as 2x out here, x minus 3, correct? Minus, if I take outside x minus 3 again, the whole thing over here, right? So ultimately what do I have is x minus 2 into what? X minus 3 into 2x minus 1. So what are the roots we have is 2, 3, 1 by 2, correct? So now let's do it quickly out here. So the biggest radius is 3. So this should be 3. So 3 square I do have is what 9. Then 4, 2 square, and this 1 by 4. So this won't be the right answer. Multiply with 4 throughout. So what do I have is 36, 16 and 1. So this should be the right answer. Okay, this was easy one. If I look over here, if you know the basics of LCM HCF, this could have been done. So let's do that. Greatest common divisor is meaning is highest common factor, also the same thing, right? So I keep telling GCD they can use instead of HCF. So for GCD or HCF, you go for the lower powers, right? So let me take the number as n, and we have to find out the least possible value of that number, and then we have to do the sum of the digits. So that is some interesting thing which always that people look forward to do it, right? So what we have is LCM of n and 990 is 6930, and HCF of n and 550 is also given to us, that is 110. Okay, so the ultimate task would be to factorize and probably try to make the number n as least as possible. So let me just first factorize this. There's nothing but 2 into 5 into 11. Now let's factorize this 5 into 11 into 2 into 5 square, correct? So this is the number n, and we have to get the HCF of this number as 2 into 5 into 11. Now if we want to get the minimum stuff out here, right? So already we have over here 2 to the power of 1. And in the HCF also we have 2 to the power of 1. So definitely for the HCF we go for the lower power. So the number n, if I look over here, should start with 2 to the power of 1. It can have more powers also, 2 square, 2 cube and so on. And still in the HCF you'll have 2 to the power 1, because over here you have 2 to the power 1. But I want the least possible value. So let me put 2 to the power 1 itself, right? Over here it is 5 square, and over here is 5 to the power of 1. So definitely I should take only the power of 5 as 1 out here, because in the HCF you have this. Now 11 over here is what 1, and over here is also 1. So over here I can look forward to pick up power of 11 as 1, 2 and so on. But for the least I should look forward as again as 1. But still it's not a complete number. We have to check with the uh, LCM part also, right? So let's factorize this 990 out here. So 9 into 11 into 2 into 5, and 9 could be written as what? 3 square. I hope I've done it correctly out here so far. So yes, now this LCM we want is 6930. So this also needs to get factorized. So 10 I can write 2 into 5 separately. 693. 693, let's first divide by uh, 9 out here, because some of the digit is divisible by 9. So 9, if I do that, 9 sevens are 63 and 6 3. So again we have 7 out here, right? Okay. So yes, 77, which could be written as 7 into 11 into 9, which is 3 square. So this is the LCM, right? So already, if you look over here, we have the number with the base of HCA. We took this number so far. So when you put 2 for the LCM, remember you have to go for the higher powers. So 2 to the power of 1 is already here, and over here is also 2 to the power 1. So in the LCM, you would surely have this, right? Same if I look for 3 over here, 3 square, and over here is 3 square. So this is the higher power we can pick up. So for LCM, if I consider and I want the least possible, so my power of 3, I can look forward to pick as 0 again, right out here. So that's done. 11 is here. Over here is also 11. So you have 11 in the LCM also. Now 7 is there where 7 is missing out here, right? So in the number n, you have to pick up one power of 7 only, that is 1. So this should be the number, I guess. 10 into 7 is what? 70 into 11. That is nothing but what? 770, right? So 770, if I look over here, sum of the digits, if I do, that is nothing but 14. So this should be the right answer. So doable one in the exam, or time taking it would be, yes, few minutes it would be taking for sure. And we have time in these app. That's the most important thing, right? Okay, so done so far with some of the questions of the XAT. We'll come up with some more solutions soon. I would just like to announce we are starting a comprehensive CAT to IIM CAT 24 Nominees batch from 10th of Jan at 9 p.m. And you can look forward to join this batch. There are a lot of exclusive features. Like one is three one-to-one mentoring session I'm giving you. For more details, you can check out the video which I've uploaded for this particular batch also on the same channel, Cat 2 IIM by Manoj Mahajan. Exhaustive Q and LRDI learning, 500 plus hours. So I'm sure that please do check with the other institutes, either you're going for offline or maybe online. Are they providing so much of stuff, and that too at a very reasonable fee, right? So the nominal fee it is actually, I'll tell you about the fee also in a while. Exhaustive practice of QA, 1500 plus questions, 250 plus sets of LRDI. Regular assignments and doubt clearing sessions would be there. You can even expect direct and similar questions in the CAT and the other exams. Recorded sessions are available. We are focusing on three things, that is result, result, and result. So it's a result oriented batch and a limited batch size. So the fee valid till tomorrow, that is 9th of Jan, is 15,999. Post 9 Jan, it would become 16,999. I have a 20 plus years of experience. You can more check about my profile in the description of the YouTube channel. So I would say not just an educator, but a mentor. So let me just quickly highlight the achievement so far. We started in 2022, so it's almost now 1.5 years. So top five CAT 2 IIM final achievers of 2022. You can have a look over here. So like IIM Indore, Sanjay converted, IIM Udaipur, Punapama, IIM Shillong, Unnati converted, Anjali into IIM Lucknow, Saurabh into Narsimhanjay, Mumbai. And this year also, if I look to start with, Shubham Dubedi, CAT 2M student, converted ISB. So already one conversion is there. And let me just quickly highlight the results so far for the CAT 23 and OMT students. It's a dhamaka result actually. So far, 7 CAT 2M achievers out of just 20 plus. So remember that the batch size was limited. So 7 CAT 2M achievers so far, and this number would increase once more results would be out. So I congratulate Chirag Kaushik for getting IIM Lucknow call, Shubham Goel for scoring 98.47 percentile in CAT 23 and for scoring 237 marks in NMAT 23. Shubham Dwivedi for converting ISB and scoring 98.12 percentile in the CAT. Saad for scoring 94.64. This is a real achievement for Saad. He scored somewhere around 43 percentile in CAT 22. So it's a huge achievement. So I would say that probably the batch is for students who are aiming for 24 and the other management entrance test. Maybe some of them did not do well in the CAT 23 and the other exams. So remember one thing, I just recently watched the movie 12 Failed. So I love this restart song, right? So do watch that. And probably you can also look forward to restart your journey with CAT 2IM. So you can see exceptional results so far, right? Insha for scoring 238. I congratulate NMAT. Sushma for scoring 234. Bharat for scoring 233. So it's a great achievement if I look over here from the students. So just make sure that people who want to just start fresh with CAT 24 preparation, they can look forward to join this. And students who want to restart their preparation, they can also look forward. So I would say you are just one step away to be an achiever. Join CAT 2IM and be the next achiever. You can look forward to call me at 9891 565351. Thank you.